potential for Big to maybe bounce into this game pretty well. I don't know, man. Like, they're super inconsistent for me, I think, is their big problem, right? Even if you look at like a Nuke or something like that, there's some really clean wins in there, and then there's some really silly losses that I think, you know, you and I have caught. But we kick things off on Ancient here, so it is their pick and a bit more their home turf, and it feels like it should be a solid punish here, but paiN could just outmatch them and outgun them. No one towards B. Good information here for this ET side.
For sure. Odeus up close. Shadow will betray as they start to pop through, but he's got a lot of support here, and Big are not making any movement at the moment in terms of a committal play. They're waiting. Holland David up close. In comes the Util as well. There's another player in support. However, NQZ has fully fallen away over towards the B side, and that could be costly. Julie's only good for one. Quick trade, and JDC doubles it down. DGT at range gets clipped.
Big find. Create space for the bomb plant now. Just right on the corner there from JDC. Spam doesn't find him, so they will get that plant away, and now it becomes a very, very tough situation here for paiN. Don't have that kit available. They're here pretty quickly, though. So how clean is this post plant going to look? First head has rolled. Numbers become even. 2 in at Temple, though, I think is going to be unexpected here. Little flash over to just slow them down and make life more difficult. The Glock's getting it done, and Big looking really, really good. As I mentioned, you and I have caught them recently. I think when the parameters are comfortable for them, they're so well disciplined, and the timing, the rhythm of the team is just really solid. But if there is a more chaotic element in there, they do struggle with adaptation at times.
Absolutely. You see, you'll find tabseN on the way out. It's consolation kill, but it will be a good start. That's what we want to see from this side as well. Out the gates, find a little bit of form. Start to prove as well that they do deserve to be here. This is a big side that, it goes without saying, you touched on this kind of the start of the series here. They've been dwindling. There's been a lot of conversations around this side, whether they stick German, whether they go international, and that's actually been going for a couple of years now, honestly, since they were a real contender side, and that's been a long, long time. And they've tried it with such a variety of teams, but it just hasn't seemed to be working. We're going to go quick here. These steps have been heard. It could be a bit of a bloodbath as Crimbo finds 2 before falling. Hype to get the trade to keep the numbers in favor of Big. It's a forced buy for paiN, and I like the little bit of an unorthodox play. They go for a bit of a quicker push, stick as a pack, and see if they can isolate fights. They get 2, but unfortunately Big were ready.
Yeah, superior weaponry making a big difference. We're not totally done yet, though. NQZ's got other ideas, pushing a little close here. So they have to be careful with how they clear things. He could also get some good timing if he wants to go round this corner, but he won't, and tabseN beats him. Decently played there to just expect a move coming in. David chilling. In at slant, also got to be cleared properly and expected. The utility not going to do too much to him, but again, it is tabseN to deal, so Big looking clinical.
Yeah, so far, sharp. It's good to see. This is a big amount of times that an issue that's plagued them is they've been a little bit slow to get online. We've even seen them when they've been kind of moving in towards a little bit more of the online tier 2 Counter-Strike. Still the same issues have plagued them, but they're just looking good. They were ready for that, guns up, and they expected there might be a bit of a gimmick that comes through, and they're ready to fight. So fair play. A lot of teams get caught off guard by a bit of a quicker CT side push like that. Heading towards round number 3, not a lot paiN can bring to the table. We've got a few deagles, which is, it's okay. Ball expectations, this will be a simple 3rd on the board. So, on your own map pick, on the T side of Ancient, getting a nice little foundation built up. Good to see for Big. This paiN side can be difficult to break down and can be difficult to slow down, but if you don't let them get going, well, that's a perfect way to make life uncomfortable for the Brazilians. Of course, off the back of their pretty incredible run at Austin, they're a side that a lot of people are looking towards, saying, well, can they go back-to-back, right? Can we see this paiN side start to become a real, you know, maybe even like a playoff team, right, in a sense, and start making deep runs in tournaments as a bit more of a regular basis?
Gonna find themselves a clear B-bomb site here. So, should be there around momentarily. See if there's any kills to come round for paiN. Thus far, not the most enthralling of rounds, but yeah, I think you raise a good conversation around paiN and what do we look for from this team? You know, is there still a hype behind them? Was it a little fluky maybe?
Sure.
It also ended up with like the easiest quarter in a way. Although they did well to win there, I don't think many people expected them to take it in the fashion that they did. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm kind of quietly behind. They've got a couple of exciting pieces within this team, but I think there's still a little to be desired. Team kill there from Hyped, by the way. So that's a needless death, perhaps. And Crimbo goes down to the bottom. So more damage than I think paiN really expected there.
Yeah, I think you're right. For Big, this is now the true test from them. Gun's going to come through for paiN, and unfortunately, team kill slips in, but for the most part, it's okay. NQZ in towards the AWP. Hype does one on the flip side. tabseN just rocking at the Galil. A little bit expensive, so it does force bits of reinvestment, but for the most part, you still consider this a bonus round for Big. What have they got for us? Smoke Molly Nade combo, the classic shelf presence dropped by paiN, and we'll chip JDC down to just above half. NQZ in that orb. Right idea, right find as well. tabseN on the cross. Quick flick. And the opener. Well, the Brazilians, first gun round starts well.
Yeah, looking good. Keen start. Going to need to capitalize on this now, and this is where we often see Big struggle a little, is, you know, figuring out how to get back into a round when their initial game plan has gone south. So some of the creativity and flexibility that's lacking from time to time, maybe going to have to see it here. DGT with a nice easy swing off the back of the flash, and the 5-on-3 like this. I mean, you don't expect them to take it. There is a world in which this Big side decides to save. There's a lot of damage done through the spam there. It's unfortunate that they don't convert either of those kills. But maybe if they do give this a good go, that would benefit them.
Slow roll in towards mid of 35 seconds. From a 3 versus 5, I mean, what do we actually do here for Big? It looks like a group up and finish towards B. I mean, we can see with the benefit of the minimap that that's probably not going to be a good call. There's 3 players here, and they're deeply ingrained in towards this setup. In comes the Uto. Smoke down short, Molly behind it as well. JDC needs to get out and plant, but even that might be a bit of a big arse. They do get the site itself, so plant is a luxury they're given here. But not another opener. Height, he had to get that shot. JDC, Crimbo both fold like wet paper, and that'll be paiN finding their first. It's flawless, no less as well. Hyped, he had to hit that shot. That's the make or break in that post plant. When he falls, it all falls apart.
Yes, I think it really would have slowed them down. They have to deal with him. But because he goes down, everyone just bursts forwards and is super, super confident. And do not let that cute little face fool you. One of the deadliest players on this squad. Sure. Certainly one of the loudest as well. You watch Snow in the interviews and he's quite nice. And there you go, you know, you see it a little bit. Little Rottweiler energy to him.
He's got that sort of energy about him that can be quite infectious as well. Hence why I think they like playing with him, right? I mean, when he gets fired up, so does everybody else as well. DGT crossover trade on the right position. It's Bigu for the first. JDC will trade, and JDC makes it 2 as well. tabseN will add to the tally. Nice little elbow push coming through from Big. That'll give them mid control. This is a good spot now. Snow, we were just talking about him. The youngster. We need a bit of heroics here. Numbers don't favor them, so he's got to find some form. The babyface killer gets in behind for 1, and he gets out as well. Nade'll bound around that corner to soften up Hype. paiN a chance. They brought this back level.
Yeah, big find. And really well played as well by Snow to not just overface and give the kill back. Take it later on in the round. The AWP is here quite quickly. Maybe spotted? tabseN with a small jump peek, I think might just have seen him, or a shadow, something along those lines. They seem not to be facing to Temple, right? Just don't give the chance across. tabseN with a little check. It's going to come down to this donut player to just play the bomb. Kit available for Snow. Not a lot of time left now. Tabson takes a swing, spots the edge. That is great timing. He will reveal himself, of course, but Snow knows as soon as he crosses, he is vulnerable to Donut, and he just does not want to take the chance. Hype not making any noise at all. Will take it eventually when he feels the job is done. A big find from Big, and it's this man right here, JDC. He was actually so damn good. We caught him at EEC a couple weeks ago, and he was farming in some of those games, so not necessarily the most unlikely player, but they signed him to be a bit more of a star, and it wasn't really his typical role.
Yeah.
Maybe he can fit into that. We'll see.
Yeah, the real issue when you look towards Big is that, you know, it's so sick to see JC do so well. He's such a good player. I mean, we've been kind of watching this guy since the Miles NXT days, right? And it's awesome to see the career that he's had so far. The issue that I have with it is that I don't think JDC should be the star. If JDC's like your second best rifler, this team's cooking. But same with Crimbo, right? Second or third best player, super, super sick to see. The fact that they require him to put up numbers, same with Crimbo, then was a little bit of a worry. And this is sort of where we thought when Rigon came in towards the team, he'd also bolster that up, right? It's three different assets and kind of facets of firepower where they can kind of get going. But you're right, JDC, he's so clinical and has been recently. David, you need to be careful here. He's creeping through the smoke, and he actually gets away with a kill. Looks for a second, which he delivers on. Oh, David makes it 3. How in God's name has he got away with the first? Never mind 3 here as DGT will nail one of his own. Down goes QB, down go Big. And Hype left in a 1 versus 5, a non-existent chance in round number 6. All off the back of Nowadays, his prowess. That is a monstrous round from him.
Hype just looking to survive now. And he might just get away with that. 30 seconds to kind of sit here and hold the angle. But yeah, paiN. Definitely needed that, I think. 4 rounds already on the T side from Big. If they were to hit a 5th and break the bank once again, it would have been a really, really scary looking half.
Yeah.
So the backbreaker round is indeed stopped. A little bit of a reversal in from paiN. Hyped is still just chilling here. Yeah, they're going to give him the gun. No need to feed the AWP, so to speak. They need the money themselves. So that is a silver lining, but ultimately paiN taking the round and an opportunity to gap close.
Yeah. Stavridis, so well done from him. 3 kills, isolated perfectly. You know, Big had crept their way through here, and it felt like it could have been a little bit precarious, but a bit of a tilter. One man's antics. So Big are going to go for a timeout as they, again, just want to slow things down. They're still in a pretty decent spot. It's also a perfect moment for Scrunk to get onto the mic if he needs to as well. Just instill a little bit of confidence over towards this side. They're not under pressure. They don't need to worry right now. They're still doing okay, right? As long as we've got this lead and we can keep building upon it in this first half, it's fine. But it's more about, can we keep it? paiN are showing these moments, and you look towards the buy they got around that saved AWP as well. Doesn't really get a lot of support here, unfortunately. It's a double Galil setup, which Crimbo... He sell that? Yeah, it looks like he sold. Okay, so you can opt for a Deagle instead as he wants to prioritize util. So 1 Galil for JDC and an AWP. So as JDC and Hype have got to a lot of heavy lifting in this round. They'd love a bomb plant. That would, at least short term, give them a little bit of security, but it's not a nice spot. You lose this round if you're Big, paiN gonna tie the game up.
Yeah, the Crimbo move definitely speaks to like an execute, prioritizing bomb plant, etc. So we'll see what that looks like. Tabson maybe making a bit of noise there. I think that would have been audible. Molotov comes in, smoke behind it. It's going to be a wait here, folks, for sure, if we are to see an A execute. But with that smoke coming in, they think otherwise. A reposition here. Still lacking a little, but they got the 2 smokes, so it gives them options to go to a lot of different places now. JDC out mid with the Galil. We'll get it down towards mid. What's the game plan here? I think footsteps have been heard pushing B. Slowly looking at Donut. Got to be careful, though. It's a 2-man Donut setup, so Trying to overwhelm the one player with your strong-ish weapons is just not going to work there. Straight in towards Red Room, meanwhile. They are ready for that. Biguzera finds one, not taking the peek here. Really well played from paiN. Only 20 seconds left as well, and they know that there's absolutely no control for Big, so they have to go somewhere. They have to find one of these difficult choke points if they are to get the bomb plant. And paiN have played it, honestly, to perfection, I think. No overfaces, really well disciplined.
Yeah, they know as well that they can kind of play in pairs. Super well done. DGT will go down. So that is a recovered AK, and it looks like an AK that we kept alive as well. A couple of taps that come through, but that's as good as it gets, unfortunately, for Big. Not what you want to see. Another opening kill from Biguzera there, right? And he's been doing quite a good job of just finding a bit of space, but go back to what you're saying. No over faces. I love the way that paiN approached that. They find a kill, they fall back, rather than what we've seen, this tendency in a way to sort of like find a kill and keep seeing what information you can gather around it. I just say, we'll take the advantage and we'll just sit on top of that. So that recovered AK for Crimbo. And still the AWP in play as well, but a tough predicament and a nice nade that bounds round ramp as Hyped JDC will engulf it. Biguzera, again, that open that we spoke about. Gets the kill, gets out. Head firmly on his shoulders. He knows he doesn't need to fight. Hyped will find a kill, sure, but numbers still favor that of paiN here. And up close, his crossfire is deadly. Snow finds two. He looks for a third as well. He runs out of ammo. So Biguzera opens and closes that one. And the door on the lead for Big as this game is tied up.
Man, I mean, looking tight, you know. The early rounds were a bit tough. Pistols can ultimately be a bit random. Don't mean to take them down to their very derivative nature, but sometimes that is how it goes. And once the guns have come out, once the rounds have gotten a little tougher and more important, you might argue, paiN have looked very, very good here. And little bits of emotion in places. Crimbo feels like very much his own man, very much his own player at times. So they have to keep him in the right headspace. We've got a fast B coming in, and they have found a beautifully isolated B bomb site. That's the AWPer alone, mind you. So absolutely no backup for the rush. And with that, they have lost all the control of B. I mean, I don't know how they would really get back in here, to be honest. This is not looking good.
Surely you give it a look, though, right? You've just got the money. Why not? Also, you heard Tech9s on that drive-by. Test them. You know, money's in a little bit of a feeble spot. Flash around that corner, but it looks like that bomb starts to tick and we creep towards the 10-second mark. They're angling just to keep them engulfed in this site, so that exits is all they really gather. And be good for the stats, and sure, it'll still make life a little expensive, especially with dropping the AWP, guys. This could be a little funky. Everyone goes down. So I guess for paiN, they can take that in towards the next, but a nice response from Big. And they reclaim the lead off the back of a sort of a nothing round, right? Tech9's on the drive-by. But yeah, completely catching NQZ. Pants round his ankles. He had nowhere to go. And he had no support. That's one of the few times as well that we've seen paiN not have that AWP supported. They've normally been playing, you know, at least one in towards long, somebody in around cubby or whatnot. But one time they changed it up a little bit. It hurts them.
Yeah. Kind of just mental as a concept, to be honest. You know, they really thought it was going to be A, I suppose. But they are back with a vengeance. DGT, aggressive through the smoke, finds the first. That'll be the B bomb site, completely isolated for Big now. So getting a taste of their own medicine. NQZ tracking, following the flying Crimbo. And we'll pluck him out of the air. Bit of duck hunting here to start the day. paiN looking good for number 5.
Oh, he shoots on the nade. He had the right idea, but now this will give NQZ the angle. Doesn't move his way forward. He's alone here. Bomb on his back. And that smoke's about to fade too. That's the only thing that becomes increasingly concerning. If they had made a push to ramp, which it felt like for a brief moment, that DGT and Snow were tempted by, it could have been wraps already. But still, 3 versus 5, 35 seconds. They've basically got to commit towards B here. Molotov couldn't have been timed better.
It's Spam is close, but not quite good enough. They will now start to rotate the entire team around. So Telegraph B hit here surely gets flattened. Surely nothing coming. And they know they've heard the boost up. No need to swing it. Again, super discipline from paiN. And Big will be forced away. So paiN's still looking good. Still very consistent with the rifles. They fell flat. Kind of got a bit unlucky based on the call, even if it was sort of a wacky call. Like, the exact thing they didn't want to happen happened. So, very competitive game all the same. And you have to think, yes, it's 5-5, but it was a 4-1 scoreline, thanks to the pistol in particular from Big. So, it doesn't paint the full picture here.
No, not at all. Super sort of back and forth since the guns are coming to play, but I think the main thing is still that I think, you know, in the way you were kind of talking about there, the full picture not being painted, is that momentum actually still feels pretty good for paiN, right? You know, they've been putting a lot of pressure. They're forcing Big into a lot of saves. They're making them feel quite uncomfortable when they have rifles in play. And that's probably why we've gone for the second tac timeout. Take a breather here. Scrunk re-enters the conversation briefly. But they want to close out this half in a positive way. They can get a couple of rounds just to seal the deal before heading in towards their CT side. That'll be good for Big. paiN. Pressure being kept on. It feels like they're still in charge despite this game being level.
Yeah, it's one of those weird scorelines, isn't it, where there's a bit more nuance to it.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I don't think that Big or paiN are going to be bothered about how they get the rounds, just so long as they get them and eventually win the map. Molotov comes in, David forced out into the open. No one near enough to take a clean fight against him, but they have won the day at mid here, so see what Big can do with it.
Making a move here. What a boost, which I like. Oh, it's so unfortunate. He got so tunnel visioned in there because there was a couple of pixels of height peek around that corner. And speaking of, the devil, he'll step up as DGT gets caught as that smoke breaks open. Opening double. Go in the way of Big. But an answer back from David brings it somewhat doable once again. They're going to wind down this clock, the German side. And they're moving straight in towards NQZ. This is worrying on the cross here. Oh, it's a dink as well from the pistol, no less.
For goodness sake, absolutely ridiculous. NQZ frightened off. He's still sticking around here, though. 3 HP the difference. Just trying to buy some time and space for his teammates to come in, but it's not enough. Snow broken on the first, and he will get traded out. JDC with a hell of a round there. And really well found from Big. A few unforced errors. It was a friendly, I think, self smoke break in at middle, and that was kind of the moment that changed things. Yeah, I do believe DGT broke it himself, so yeah, going to be kicking themselves a little bit here on the paiN side of things. It looked good for a moment, but Big have just slowly chipped them away.
Yeah, unfortunately, just in that round specifically, a couple of opportunities that go awry. The boost, for example, really good idea, but tunnel vision on the wrong player. NQZ in the flames, don't want to be sticking around there. He was tempted by a push forward, and that's where we're maybe getting a little flustered here, paiN, a little panicked. They're really wanting to sort of force things, and against Big, you can't afford to do that. They will punish you, as we've just seen. Just a pixel being held here by DGT. Nothing on offer just yet. Big are so happy to whittle down this clock and
yes,
play at this sort of slow tempo, because it does force paiN, and it has in a few times made them overface and overfight. And well, look at this, for example. There's the first. JDC gifted a freebie, and he has support of two of the players around him as well. Thompson might take the onus in the next fight. One in which he can't win, but still quick trade. So, paiN falling into the traps that Big are setting, and it's working well for the German side.
I don't know. Again, like 4 in at middle, and then they just didn't quite commit. Left that one guy out on an island, and there's no one around to trade. Like, it was indecisive and just not quite enough belief in the move. I think if they kept going, they could have got the trades cleanly, but not the case. So, as you see, Big have got one to the good. in the ascendancy here. Hyped. Oh, nearly gets the timing. NQZ on the shotgun AWP. However, get it all done. Oh, man, they have not considered him at all. 3 shots, 3 kills. Hyped alone against the world. His shadow now spotted and surely taken out. He will be. Oh, man, NQZ, what a hold.
Wow, well played, man. He's had some moments as well throughout this map, and that is a pretty special one. They needed somebody just to shut down that presence, and Big have been looking scary moving through round. That time not to be. We've got a game on our hands here, but before we can continue it, we've got a little break. We'll see you soon.
They look like they can go on forever. And it's only the first map.
My brain feels like scrambled eggs after that marathon. Seriously, how do you recover from this?
I don't know, man. Looks like a long run. We need a quick reset.
Hey, cheer up, boys. It's only a best of 5. Refuel yourself.
Oh, that was so saucy.
It's so creamy.
You were talking about the clutch, right?
Yeah. You?
Yeah, I guess.
Welcome back. What a half to start as well. These two sides are level. 6-all in Ancient. Big's map pick, but a real back and forth approach. We were sort of building this narrative a little bit, Scriv. At the tail end of that first half, that whilst the score lines remained even, you got to look back at how it was, what, 4 out of the first 5 rounds for Big. When guns came in play, paiN actually looked slightly better. So maybe ever so slightly advantage in their core, but we'll have to see. A pistol round to kickstart the second half could be a real early indicator.
Julie's set up, ready to go. It looks like JDC will spot one, smoke immediately down. This splits the attack. The Julies have gone pushing in. They're not afraid to fly through the cave smoke.
Oh.
God, this is such a mess. Hyped manages to find a kill out front. This is going all over the place. DGT trying to charge in with the rest of the squad.
Hang on.
And they do manage to thin the numbers. The HPs look a little worse for wear. A tap onto the bomb as well to just try and draw any stragglers towards them, but there's no one in close vicinity. NQZ now going to realize this, and I think it's confirmed the location of both of them in at that CT area. They will now start pushing forwards. There's a kit available on the site. QB with no armor, so going to just have to find the headshots quick here. The Glocks advantageous up close. Few missed shots from Snow, though, and he will be punished for that. NQZ going to have to clutch things up here. Julie's retrieved. Charging forward. Smoke goes down. And the headshot lands. Kit retrieved. Not needed as the defuse comes in nicely.
Just like that, man. It was so close. I thought for a brief moment, paiN, when they brought it back level into that 2 versus 2, that they actually had a bit of a chance there. NQZ and Snow tried to set themselves up, but they were sort of caught in two minds of, do we play full post plant or do we commit towards the fight? And because of that, opportunity's given over when NQZ falls as well. Settled. Nice work. Big. Still putting pressure on themselves and proving just how clean they can be in these early part of the halves, right? The pistol rounds and the 4 spies looking really, really solid. Khalil's out for paiN is as good as it gets. Double Deagle required for Big Azera and Davideus. So firepower advantage towards Big. Still can't play these sort of rounds too comfortable though. JDC in particular needs to be a little careful. Back turned. Only a minuscule amount of damage.
Spam through from Crimbo. Nothing found. A lot of tension in these rounds, I think, for the first map. You know, you'd maybe expect Ancient to move a bit quicker, but not really been the case on this game. Especially compared to a couple that we've had so far on the B stream. Some really, really, really thick and fast Ancients happening. So, a lot of pressure and a lot of weight. I think both teams kind of realize that Nuke is potentially an unpredictable map for both of them, right? It's not as clear how that is going to go.
I guess in a sense, though, this is a map that was quite predictable and so far not going as predicted. Oh, what a swing. What a fine. 2 there for Tabson, and he takes both. Davideus and DGT line up, but the Deagle still causing issues as Big Azera now in the back lines. Tabson needs to be a little careful. Doesn't support. JDC up close, and he swings in for a second. Leaves it all down to one man. Big Azera got to lead by example. 1v3, turn 1v2. But 10 seconds, what do we do from here? Thankfully for him, the smoke has faded, but Big do not need to peek. And for Big Azera, it's about can he save? Nice shot. And it won't make a difference. Best he can do is keep hold of an M4. It's 3 kills to his name. But another round for the German side.
Ultimately looking good. I think maybe finding this second half slightly easier to get control of. And again, it's a question of where their individuals sit for me. Tabson in particular looks clean. And I think that he is someone that is going to have to lead from the front for this team to just sort of get them going. This, of course, is a lower bracket game, so not the best of starts for both of these teams. paiN against Liquid, maybe expected to win that one given Liquid's recent form. FaZe for Big is tough, to be fair. Always going to be hard playing against FaZe.
QB. On that little crack angle. Got to do a lot here. It's been a quiet game from him, but look to him primarily on the CT side, and there's 2 4, and given chance of the reload as well, and a reposition. They're still swinging, and they're all dropping like flies, one by one. QB lining them up, dropping them down. He looks for another who'll be caught by the Deagle, but a quick trade, a quick find, only the 1 kill. A nice 9th on the board for Big, and they're inching closer and closer. The second half started exactly the same way that the first did, more or less, where when guns are not really in play for paiN, they're not looking that scary, if being frank. But it's this gun round, the next one that comes through in round number 16. This is the real test. If Big can overcome this, the map basically should be theirs.
Yeah, try and deny any kind of a start for paiN in this second half. We got the run boost out as QB goes flying, but there's no one on the business end of it, unfortunately, so we don't really get to see it in action. The A bomb site is indeed the right choice here as it's weaker defended. Just the AWP in Donut easily smokable if they play things correctly here, and they will indeed work their way out. Mid pressure doesn't quite work. Molotov will slow the plan. So there is that at the very least. Should buy some time for the rotations to come in, but it is going to be a full retake required here on it.
Yeah, best of luck here. This is going to be a bit awkward. I'm going to boot stop 1-2. You just leave NQZ up here. I mean, he can basically play no contact. Swing is sort of a last-ditch effort. Smoke towards main by JDC. That is an attempt to cut off 1 and actually gets 2 for it as well. And this is where then NQZ might get caught in a little bit. Time's starting to tick, and he will deliver with 1. A quick trade on towards the big man of JDC. It's who you want to be finding. He's looking for more, but it's only damage as Thompson's going to get 2. On the bomb, they line up for Snow. And the youngster should have sealed it, and he has. He spams through the smoke. Down goes Hyped. And noise being made by paiN. They know they are right back in contention for this map.
Yeah, really big find from them. The retake setup on A does not quite work out. Just not enough control, not enough time. It's very fast, it's very panicked. Thompson does his best. But the plant is just too hard to beat with like 7 seconds left as soon as they get onto the site, you know? Really not enough breathing room to work with. And there you are. Those are the types of rounds that a team like paiN are going to turn into absolute gold. Maybe now a streak of rounds as well would be nice, would be helpful in the game of Counter-Strike. Still a decent enough buy back from Big, but as you can see, this is a full spend for them, and there's a couple bits missing.
Yeah. Looks like a double play here by Big for Red Room control. Not committed to the fight, though. It's probably the smart call. I have no idea who is posted. Mo. Going to be tested momentarily. Will he expect close left? You hope so. 1 at range, 1 up close as well. Could be a bit of a deadly combo, but Big Azera just not expecting the second. The fact that they both get out of there alive as well is huge for Big Clan. And now they've got a chance to just use the numbers in their favor.
David looking for a way in. Smokes at every turn. So not really ideal. paiN are now the ones struggling for ideas, and really, really difficult comeback into this round. They're lacking utility. Put a lot into mid and we're hoping for control via that. But again, there is a gap. Again, Big have maybe left a space. paiN have looked to abuse it. 1 up on the boost, completely unchecked. NQZ is miles ahead of the rest of the pack as well, so trades are not clean here. It's down to just Snow. He's got to clutch up, or maybe just gets the plant in. As JDC had given the space across to try and deny that, but he just charges in with the MP9. What nerf, he says. Double digits now for Big.
Getting close. Bit by bit. Vibes seem very good over towards Big as well, you can see. My God, this is getting dicey for the paiN side. I still have these worries in a way for them in terms of consistency. Don't know what he's saying, but it sounds good. Things are in a decent spot for Big. paiN, I'm assuming this pauses them, right? Yeah, and it is their first tactical timeout. Better late than never, but they're actually in quite an uncomfortable spot now. You look over towards that right-hand side, and money isn't exactly flourishing over towards the T side. So a difficult predicament for them, where you probably want to go for maybe like a hero investment here, but a half buy overall, and full buying towards the next. And that'll actually be changed back to back. They're going to go for their third and final. I think they realize just how good of a spot they're in. And if they can get this next one, the pressure put on that Brazilian side could be considered insurmountable. So very, very close now.
Yeah, paiN, for me, I think needed that round if we were to start the conversation of the comeback and everything. I think now they have to really defy the odds. That was sort of the balance of momentum. They could decide to shift it in their favor, but now you're going to have to go up against it, an uphill battle for sure. And that is a lot to ask, again, on a map that they're not super experienced on, not loads to draw from. I'm going to go for a half buy here and not take anything super risky. So we'll have to see. Early utility out from both sides, of course, as is the run of things here on Ancient in CS2. But where is that bomb going? What's the plan for that? Lots of utility available, kind of. Lots of Molotovs available. Only the one smoke remaining, so they're just going to have to go charging in here, I would assume. We'll see what they can find off the back of it. tabseN up close is insanely blind, but he's got some assistance. Crimbo's here. And Crimbo is one of those uncovered players. The Molotov eventually spreads to him, but it's too little, too late. JDC holding the line as he rotated in. And a big three-piece for him. It falls flat.
Yeah, honestly, big right place, right time. Just having the numbers there towards the B site. I thought when tabseN goes down full blind, things could be a little bit unpredictable, but thankfully just the support is so good. Crimbo gets kind of unfortunate in the flames not to get a third, but JDC on recovery. Nice work. So paiN in a spot like that, you kind of don't have a lot of choices. I don't mind the Tech9 play. Big won a really important round in their first off on a similar sort of buy. So they're trying to fight fire with fire, but it does not work out. Big find themselves 2 rounds away now. And more or less, this is the make or break. Round number 19. If paiN do not find this, they are surely done. And it doesn't start well as bigazera gets caught by QB. Spam through that smoke. And another for him as well as QB finds Davideus. If you lose this paiN, your money is shattered. And aid round the corner, it actually clips the wall, unfortunately. That would have really damaged Snow.
Yeah, it could have been a big help. They are on a slow flank here. Not going to have a lot of time, but DGT looking to meet them. Oh, big. The stars aligning for this move. Unless DGT can deny. I think he spotted the second as well. JDC does get that trade. Now in from Donut. Snow's got to stop them, and he can't. It's all going to be down to NQZ. It's incredibly tight here. They've got to get on the bomb, like, right now. So maybe a well-placed bullet here from NQZ could change everything, but on the AWP, it's not the weapon that you want. And he cannot select the target. Big will find 12, and paiN continue to fumble.
Yeah, that's massive. And as well, while we've got this intermediary break before what is most likely the final round of the map, my resident German translator, wonderful observer Jonas, told me that earlier when we didn't know what tabseN was saying, but we said the vibes felt high. He said, God, I'm so sick of getting all these kills. So they're really loving life, having fun with it. tabseN not looking too shabby himself. Everybody feels like they're having their moment in the spotlight as well. Only hyped really on the more quieter side, but QB gonna get caught. bigazera. One IGL can do well, so can he. We know he's a man who can put up numbers, and they need it. Map point big, an opener, but a bomb plot might be hard to get. tabseN spamming the smoke. Same with that cross from Donut, but ineffective so far.
Yeah, no bomb plant. They are waiting. They are waiting, aren't they? Look at David on the map. Can he get himself into a strong position? Maybe. Maybe. They don't push forwards, though. We like this. Trying to retake the A bomb site before the bomb's even been planted. Now David's even bigger. Oh, no! And he missteps. Maybe made a noise. Maybe Crimbo just got lucky. It's hard to say. And bigazera, the next to fall. Really well played from Big in the end there, as they will continue mounting those A retakes and looking good while doing so. paiN just no ideas for the team.
But then you got to look at paiN, and I think probably the way paiN are approaching it, I can kind of respect it in a sense, saying, I don't care what the opposition think. I'm playing for me. I'm playing for what my strength is. So let's see how that works out for them. We are underway and towards map number 2 here to stay afloat, and it's Crimbo 4, the first being tested in towards ramp, and a quick trade from NQZ. He crossed as he jiggle peeked away. Not cost him his life. Hyped up close as well, gets cleared with ease.
Couple guys getting caught off here by what seemed to be clear audibles to me. So a little strange to see. Man advantage has become even here. Up in the air, JDC opens up single, but nobody moving on the paiN side of things. They are as yet to confirm that bomb, right? So they don't really want to take the chance on it. NQZ, meanwhile, his patience pays off And the bomb is going to slowly move away and try and go towards A, while the defense is coming down towards B. So this is looking pretty good here for paiN. NQZ just needs to stay alive as long as possible, and he's played his part perfectly so far. If he gets one more, it's a brilliant round out from him. He's just keeping them distracted. Really no trouble at all, as the bomb will slowly get planted upstairs. QB is going to be around, but JDC in the 1v1 downstairs. He loses it. It's QB left to clutch. He's immediately gooshed out, and he will fall very quickly indeed. So paiN with a nice little mid-round there.
Yeah, that's what they need as well, paiN. Coming towards your map pick, set the tone nice and early, right? Just make sure that there isn't that lingering loss sort of brewing still on the mind from map number 1. Shrug it off immediately, start well, start confidently, and that's where you want to see things. So, really well played, really well done. And left no doubts in our mind how simple that one felt. Big, no real buy for them. They're not going to go for the forcing towards the CT. So I do like where we're at the moment. paiN have a chance at the second. They can springboard themselves to security in the early part of this T side, and being it on the T side is ultimately very important. I like the little train maneuver we got by Big, or 5 moving together. You got nothing to lose, so I guess ultimately why not?
Snow's going to meet them if he's not careful. Oh, okay. Little bait step. I think maybe they've seen this round before, as he is just ready and waiting for a move to come through secret at this point in time, but he's also not crossing the threshold, so kind of fair enough, taking it slowly here, as paiN do not want to take any chances, and Big are not going anywhere, man. They are just stood committed to this little stack.
I do love this little setup. They're still very nervy about the potential of somebody just popping up from somewhere around on the A side, but they now know that they can plant safe and securely. They've got to know they're all gambled now towards the lower side. They have to. There's no other place they can be. And the question is for Big, is there any play for consolations at the end, or is it a play of let's just not give them any kill bonus or anything of the sort? Let's just stay alive, save the stats a little bit. Sometimes as well, you know, it's not the most uncommon thing in the world. See Mac 10s in rounds like this. Do you want to feed them? Do you want to give them that kill bonus? There's always the risk you have to weigh up a little bit. It looks like they're going to go for a late play towards lobby and see whether anybody exits that way. But unfortunately, for Big, that won't be the case. Big Zero, the last remaining around, and as with the rest of them, exit out towards garage. So what we like to call a unicorn round, a rarity. No fights, everybody survives, and basically not an actual bullet shot at anybody, really. So, a rarity, we see one of those. Big, they go for a gamble. They stay down towards the lower site, hoping that they head towards B. They don't. It happens. That's a 2-0 for paiN. So, one that we have to just watch as the clock tick down. We're back into the bye, though. Rifles out for Big, so the true test for paiN back on this T side, of course. We'll mention it again, paiN's T side was woeful on Ancient. Only the one round they picked up, so let's see if that'll continue to be the same narrative.
It's a good question. QB trained in behind Tabson, meanwhile downstairs looking to at least gather information, and I suppose it'll be the lack of information that he gets here that will help the team. So the A player is going to be very ready for some sort of a move towards them. JDC hidden away at the vent. It's a spooky little angle. Oh man, he just misses out on that second. QB trying to buy time now. Hypes come in on the rotation, unable to find a kill, but QB looking good. Tabson charges through. It's absolute chaos here on the A site. Super low HP bars. The nade finds Tabson. And a stiff breeze to kill these remaining two, to be honest. paiN still have the upper hand in terms of the control. The bomb wasn't spilled. They do well to hold on to it. And that one extra bullet through the smoke could have made all the difference here.
Yeah, absolutely. Still, though, as much as Big are reeling and 1 foot in the grave, all it takes is a misstep from paiN, and this round is potentially still on. I don't like the hype's looking, but it's going to work in his favor. Snow was posted, and then he started to move. So numbers now favor Big. Somehow they might make it work. Who needs HP? 12 for hyped, 9 as the supporting element. And a 2 versus 2 converted for them. paiN. Oh, man, they just fumbled. One that really had some legs behind it. Too many fights given over towards Big, and their first gun round goes well. I'll put a first on the board. I love this from hype as well, just staying close. Really well done.
If you're hitting your shots, HP doesn't matter so much.
True.
Really great find from Big. paiN still have cash to reinvest, and now they have to dig a little deeper into the strat book, so we'll see what they've got in store. They've got Snow coming in behind with a bit of a play of his own. Oh my goodness. Twist eat your heart out. He will absolutely demolish them there with the mini move, and the final looks just as good. An immediate burst of emotion there from Snow. He loves it. He lives for this, man.
He does. That's such a good way to respond. Big find a grueling close round, and Snow just takes over, and he goes nuclear. Brilliant isolation of fights. Gets the support of his IGL as well, and makes life look so simple. In a series that is far from, we saw all the way through Ancient how complex this one has been developing. The back and forth, the 4D chess being played in the server. Snow holds W mouse 1 and nets him a beautiful little 3-piece. The fact that paiN have that to fall back on, the youngster, the individual who can take over, must be such a nice security. Nowadays, I mean, he's mere pixels away from finding Tabson. Oh, head spotted. A dink will be delivered, but it's not enough for the kill. So unfortunately, Big back into low buy. They're left reeling here. We're not expecting a lot of Big, as they're going to make sure of his JDC also for sure.
Yeah, just what a round, man. And I think you will feel the reverberations of that for quite a long time, maybe even the rest of the half as we look back. Really great stuff from paiN, and if they can keep pulling out rounds like that, if Snow can keep having moments like that, this could be over quickly. Big yet to impress themselves. They had a very close one with the low HPs, but in terms of dominating, they've had no moments like that. Hyped will go down, bomb will get planted, and this one is in the bag. Is it in the bag flawlessly? Looks like yes. Unless QB with this USP can just go crazy. He's got an AK chibi on the back of it, but not going to happen. So easy stuff for paiN. And now another big round on the cards. I am quietly hopeful here for Big to make this competitive, but I do have a feeling that paiN might start taking over this game.
I mean, at least, right, we're seeing real nice moments from paiN on this C-side, something we just never got to see in towards Ancient. So this already feels a lot more like them. But yeah, I think you're right. You know, we want to see Big respond and make this back and forth, but so far, paiN looking so clean. It might be the narrative for the majority of the first half for Nuke. So down towards outside, and there's nobody there to stop him. He's got now a lot of information to work with. DGT tries a bold move, and one that doesn't pay off. QB finds him trying to sneak through that smoke. His lurking presence dozed. Snow. That's a sort of kill there that makes or breaks a round. If he finds that, it opens up the B-side as a possibility, or just being a lurking presence. But this feels difficult for NQC. Oh, I speak too soon. There's 2 for him out of nowhere.
Okay. Once again, we've got huge moments here as paiN seem to have a few more individuals activating. Big cannot let this slip, man. But NQZ has opened the door, at least started the conversation. Can they make it in, I suppose, is the big question. Crimbo gathering a lot of info here. Could get himself in a good spot as well. If he plays his cards right, they're headed all the way round to heaven, it would seem. Maybe even hell to try and join what little control they have downstairs. But no, it will be the heaven move. It's far too tempting when you have the opportunity to go for it. Especially both players coming in from here as well. Not necessarily ever expected. QB's got his eyes on it softly. Gonna have to nail some silent drops here if they really want to get away with it, but they will give their position away, and in comes Crimbo. Nade doesn't find the kill, so NQZ from behind could be massive. QB gotta be careful with the nade in hand here. He will get taken out by Big Uzera. It's all gone to pot, and Hyped on the AWP. HP doesn't matter. Even the clutch itself doesn't matter. He gets on the ladder, thinks better of it, and he will save. Oh my goodness, 5-on-3 converted for paiN.
Fair play. Ridiculous work. And now look where we're at. paiN starting to pull away, making tough rounds work for them. But Big also looking far from clinical as they were at the tail end of Ancient. Not good signs for Big. Great signs for paiN and for Counter-Strike enjoyers, because the way things are panning out right now, the third map feels inevitable. Big looks so flat. The fact that they're able to turn that round on its head, NQZ, pat on the back for him. This double that he gets to open things back up is so big. And the fact that the nade doesn't find its way round to catch Big's area is huge. I also got to kind of critique QB there. He's dropping a smoke. You've got to wait for it to plume. You can't just assume it's going to be safe there. He's kind of moving backwards, trying to set up a spam rather than holding an open angle. I don't know, man. It's not a good look for QB there. He should be at least aware of that possibility. Gets caught off guard and it opens things up in that post plant. Pause taken. Very, very understandably so as well, you know, for Big. And as we said, they're looking so off their game. We get some level of an investment. A couple MP9s, a couple of upgraded pistols, bits of util around that AWP. But should be paiN finding a 6th, for being frank.
Yeah, just severe panic in places for Big. They are better than this, and I think they know it, but letting it get in their heads, Tapson does find an easy one onto Snow, so get red, kid. And he will find himself an AK, but he can't get out of there. And there's a little block in there. There's a little block in there. It is, again, kind of chaotic, but maybe a needless death and some frustration. It is certainly annoying to die in such a fashion. DGT with a clean kill onto Crimbo.
Hype right there, posted. Oh, missed shot, gets stinked. Uh-oh. He is left ringing after that one for Hype, but he's alive. That's all that matters. Are we going to push the smoke here? If DGT does, that's so smart. Yeah, he does. Brilliant. So well played. He's going to keep pushing here. Hyped. I don't think he's going to expect this on timing. Should be a dead man. DGT's played that to perfection. The second he drops a smoke after he's dinged him, he knows that he's pulling away. There was the opportunity of another behind it, but QB flanks his own. 2v3 ensues. Advantage still towards paiN. You've mollied yourself there, NQZ. So
yeah.
That is comical.
Yeah, that was a bit silly, mate. But it's okay, because no one from Big is nearby. And I think, probably over. This position from David will force a save out for sure.
But spotted.
Oh, spotted. Can he find him? I don't know. QB?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Gives him that, though. He does give it.
Yeah,
again,
for
just
sure.
sort of revealing a bit too much leg there in the end, but getting away from them now. paiN looking really good.
My oh my. Big things going from bad to worse for them, and they keep falling further and further behind. JDC isolating fights on the way out. Oh, that is a lovely little three-piece. It'll be at the cost of his life, but at least individually, John De Castro still sharp as hell. But it doesn't matter. They're 6-1 down. The chances still dwindling, and arguably would have liked to have just kept the AK, if we're being honest as well. Just having that towards the next round could have gone a long way. Yeah, tough predicament, man. I think I probably have to credit that round as well a lot to DGT. I love that move to find Hype. This secures everything towards hell as well. You can leave a player in heaven, make the post spawn super secure. You'd love to see it. Back into the bite for Big. Hyped with his AWP, but it's Big Azera for the first, only briefly as he then gets traded, but information to be worked with here.
Maybe a bit of something Big absolutely going to need to put a stop to this tear that paiN are on before it gets out of hand, before we start the conversation about map 3 premature. DGT down below. Trying to get a catch, trying to see if anybody unexpectedly comes his way, but not going to be the case here. Minute left on the clock. We got a quick little boost into the rafters. It's a late outside take here from paiN, so something weird to deal with for sure. Hyped is down towards Secret. Could put a stop to this. It's the wider smokes as well, so he's got plenty of real estate to take a few shots at. Just playing the timing, expecting someone to creep in behind him. He is being watched for. They've just crossed into the smoke, so he has completely missed the timing here. Down he will go, and with that, the B bomb site ripe for the taking. DGT is so close to it, so not looking good at all. He's out a lot earlier than they expected. Wins the fight against Crimbo. They still have space to go back up if they want, but this is looking very, very good indeed. JDC correct, and of course remains ever consistent, but still only on 7 kills. Never going to be enough for this team. And I don't know, man. It feels like a save, but in the same vein, you're just so desperate for the rounds.
Yeah, and you start to weigh up these narratives in your mind of saying, at what point is us just saving not enough? At what point should we actually give these a go as sort of a last-ditch effort? But yeah, in this case, it will be more of the same. Keeping hold of those 2 M4s, and another round for paiN. My God. This is a ridiculous scoreline. How flat things have fallen. Can't quite believe it, but Big are showing next to nothing here in their favor. 7-1 the scoreline. And the opposite way of the 2014 World Cup. paiN looking good, feeling good, and Big looking so unbelievably off it on Nuke. So we maybe critique the pick a little bit, but very understandable for paiN. Crimbo stuck between a rock and a hard place. No escape for you, my friend. DGT deletes.
JDC trying desperately to stem the tide here. He's being chased down. Doesn't realize how close they are. Again, another great mechanical movement from JDC, but I think it might just all be in vain. Oh, and look at this. David coming in from behind. The Hunter strikes. And it will be all down to Hyped. He can't do anything once again. paiN are just taking over the map right now.
This is a brutal watch. I mean, you're looking at paiN as well. Everybody's having their moment kind of in the spotlight as well. There's no real kind of one person running away with things statistically. I mean, the difference between the top and the bottom is so minuscule. Same can't really be said over towards Big, though. You're looking at kind of JDC leading the way, and then nobody even remotely close to him. Crimbo, bottom of the scoreboard for him. This is tough. A brutal watch as well. You got 2 players in Crimbo and Hype on 2 kills, 3 apiece for QB and Tabson, and JDC, quote-unquote, leading the charge with 8. But this is where we look towards this big side and we talk about maybe in a sense where you're looking at individuals like JDC and Crimbo, and you don't want them to be your kind of star players. You want them to be your second best. You need like a hero alongside them. I'm not saying it. Scrunk. Some tough words he has to say to the side here, and I don't even know what you do. How do you dig him out of an 8-1 hole? This looks like this map's a write-off.
Yes, at the moment, I think that is the case. And as we kind of talked about some of the inconsistencies of Big, there are a few maps that I think they just kind of play and go through the motions. It is a really weird spot that this team is in at the moment as well, teetering on the edge of instant invites. So that does mean that there's a bit of grinding to do, as we've talked about. And I'm sure paiN play a very different Nuke as compared to TNL, you know, etc., right? They're playing so many different teams, and it can be a bit hard to stay adjusted. And I think Nuke falls into that bracket of going with the flow. We know what we're doing. We've got the basics down. But maybe not as much direct work. Tabson handed a gift as he spams away for the first. However, NQZ gets the gift back, and so the numbers even up.
A present for a present. Molly down secret. I'll keep JDC at bay. Hype. Right idea. Nice find too. DGT has been sort of punishing him quite a lot from that position. This time loses out. So numbers kept for big and could be double down. AQT is so tunnel vision there. JDC will get this kill. Oh my god, he falls away. Panicked and flustered. He gifts it up, but Crimbo answers with a quick trade towards Davideus. These steps surely are heard here by Big Azera. Big looks so nervy though, so flustered. JDC had a freebie there.
Oh my god, guys.
No way.
Guys. Oh, Big Azera just gets a little unlucky with the timing round the court. Hello?
Crimbo!
Where are you looking, man?
Where are we going?
There's no one there, bro. Oh my god.
Where is he off to, though? Literally, he's expecting a second player with no information, so Bob will go down, and a post plant for heaven. Big Azera spotted him. Not quite drops him. JDC caught in the clutch here. 1v1 now, but NQZ has the HP, and he has the angle. How have we flustered that? Big, what are we doing? This side are all over the shop. And I mean, another round. I mean, JDC should have found NQZ earlier, and it's, you know, in a full circle moment, it's NQZ who closes the round by killing JDC. He should have killed him. He was tunnel vision in, back turned towards him, and JDC opted to run away and HE instead. Couldn't be more ironic. 9-1. That's a gross misplay from the German side.
Yes, on multiple counts. Let's just say that. Big Azera will get taken down here, and they've got a frustrated charge through the lobby. The crunch works successfully. Tabson still holding outside. At one time, a premier player in this position. Top 3 in the world for sure. So he definitely does have the accolades to maybe take over the area. 3-on-2 now. Crimbo. There you go. We'll manage to find the frag. That's an AWP going to be retrieved as well. So this works out as a pretty nice round, so long as Davideus does not have some kind of miraculous 1v3. I don't know, man. It would be just awful. Not going to happen. So they can secure that one at the very least, and maybe the beginning of some sort of a comeback.
Yeah, thank God. It's better than nothing. I guess it's sort of the mindset to be having here. If we can get a 9-3, it is not completely unobtainable. They would require a pistol and a lot of things to go right on towards that T side for Big, but you know, one round at a time is basically the only way you can approach it now. It's such a deficit that they're at. Back towards outside NQZ. Oh, he tries to pluck him out of the sky, but he just about misses that opportunity. Snow doesn't, as Snow finds a second. The third is there on offer. He baits out the peak from the AWP, and he will get the support from David. This is what paiN do best. Relentless pressure that give you no ability to set up. Oh, no. Oh, hi.
I don't know, man. It's just completely, again, capitulation. As Big are unable to really find themselves. Absolute madness. Bomb going down. This would be a save, generally speaking, but final round of the half. You do have to feel for them to a certain extent, but paiN showing some of that potential that we talked about and the reason a lot of people are excited about this team. So if they can tap into this and keep it going for like the rest of stage 2, let's say, as they hope to get to, then maybe we're in for a pretty exciting tournament from paiN. However, Big got to deal with what's here and now. Not looking good, not even able to test to get in there. The 10-2 half on the T side of Nuke. It has swung back a little more to the T side, but maybe not that much. Maybe not that much. This is certainly out of hand. Big are going to need to be a completely different team, and I just don't see it happening in this second half. So, indeed, map 3 on the horizon. We'll see if paiN can get us there nice and swift. So here we go. paiN certainly living up to their namesake. It is often big that I think a lot of us get caught by on the casting booth. But it's paiN taking them to town right now. And looking really damn good. I mean, for me, it felt like that kid as well. Snow was a big part of it. Had that massive 4K to just immediately shut down Big's chances of any kind of mini comeback. And since then, the energy, the momentum has just been at an all-time high for this team. Big, however, so flustered, so messy. You don't want to be too mean to them, but they really didn't help themselves in that first half, let's say.
I'll be mean. They sucked. They were terrible. 10 to 2. Let's be real, guys. That was a woeful showing. On the CT side, no less. They've got to step it up here. I'm looking to this man, Davideus. He, for me, was the standout performer in that first half, and I want more from him, but he's under a lot of pressure. Does have support, but a quick pace play by Big. Manager's giving them some legs to maybe work with in towards the second half. A non-existent chance here for DGT and NQZ, it feels. Big have lost some egregious rounds in that first half, though, so I'm not going to completely discount it. We saw that real terrible one going through lobby, but yeah, it feels like they've already sort of internally given up. No kit either means that no real chance. So a slight lifeline given, but I mean, a lot that Big have to do to recover, I think, for what was such a poor first half. Not often you see the 10-2s recovered. Statistically, it's so against them. And the only way they can approach this, one round at a time. Like you see, extra kill taken, tabseN will drop. He'll get traded. So in the end, a pretty good one to be taken. But they've got to do a lot, like we said, to build themselves back in towards this game and build that momentum, but also mental state, I think, more than anything. Get the confidence back that you believe that you can take this 2-0.
Yeah, we're going to have to see here. It would be a hell of a thing if they're able to run it back. Look, if they can even bring it close, though, I think that does also a lot of heavy lifting for them. So, would be good to see them close this gap and just prove to themselves that they can get rounds, that they can match up. Because Inferno comes up next, and a bit more confident for both of these teams in terms of like win percentages, but it is also another up in the air map. Don't know what to expect from it, right? So maybe even one that we could have angled as a paiN pick potentially. See why they picked into Nuke though. He's looking pretty damn good. That is for sure. On the low buy here, looking to close things down.
Oh, shot.
And QZ with a keen find through the glass. Snow is also ready. He's got a bit of support behind him as well, I do believe, down there. So, this looks pretty damn doable now, to be honest. If they walk into the right place or turn their head at the right moment, they will get mowed down. David looking for a bit more. That's going to be the bomb dropped as well. Good information. They've got the move in together. He drops the bomb again. What is going on? How is he getting away with that? I thought he was backed, but he wasn't even backed. He just walked in by himself for another kill. It's just ridiculous. tabseN will get that. He really wanted the knife. He really wanted the knife, but he's denied that.
Still though, 2v4. No bomb control either. How do you recover this sort of a round? tabseN going to try and go the long way. There's 20 seconds to work with, guys. We don't have a lot of time, and his teammate slumped against the window there. This is gonna be done. It's a labored spray, which more or less sums up Big on this map. Labored and tough to watch. It's not been the showing from them. Letting that one slip like that is critical. 11 now for paiN. And that is such a poor way to fall flat, right? It does sort of sum up where things have been going wrong. It's too easy, too many fights going the right way. All you can do if you're Big here is force buy. You don't really have too much of an option, unfortunately. Let's see what they've got for it. Doesn't start well. tabseN mollied, naded, and spammed. He's seen off with no real insights to what outside presence is looking like. And DGT looks like he's going to be tested towards ramp here. He is alone, though, so if they go maybe 1 for 1, there's a bit of space to work with. Oh, actually, utter lie. He's now got the support.
Yeah, looking good from here. Finds 2 of his own. NQZ to come round, and he gets 2 of his own as well. And that's how you play the old bait and switch, folks. Really solidly held. With moves like that, again, you're just very confident that this is going to get closed out quickly. They don't fall flat to a Tech 9 play as they might have done on Ancient, looking much, much tighter here.
Yeah. What can you do with your tabs in there, unfortunately? It's a lovely shutdown, like you said. Not even keeping tabs on NQZ on the swing. Map point paiN in a unbelievably dominant fashion. And look at what Big bring to the table on what is most likely the final round of Nuke. Triple Tech 9. A double P250, a little bit of util, that's as good as it gets. That is going to drop down as well, under pressure. Does only get one though, so shut down and space to build with now towards the A side. Snow trying to sneak his way through this smoke, and he actually has found himself up, which works, but he's found himself dead as well. The flank is here, DTT, he'll get one. Looks for a second, he runs out of ammo, which costs him 2 versus 3. Big stuff and planted, but they've got the man advantage.
Just waiting before getting this bomb down. Waiting to see what the reaction looks like. And little do they know that's buying more time for Biguzera to pull off his flank. Nade goes in, doesn't do anything to NQZ. Create space for the bomb plant, I suppose. But as I've said, Biguzera has really been able to just walk this whole way. No need to panic, no need to pick up the pace as the bomb, maybe 5 to 10 seconds gone at this point. He's in towards Hut, looking to find this first. He is being watched for. Oh, no. The timing is just immaculate. Hype to try and hold here for 2, and he can't get it done. That will be the game, and that will be paiN absolutely bringing it to Big. Unbelievable scenes as they kind of capitulated into the second half of Ancient. You worry for them moving into Nuke, this map that, you know, there was a chance for Big to do something, but they never got going, and paiN, I mean, a great game from them, but you also have to look onto the Big side. Like,
loved it, lads. That was great. More of the same, please. We're heading to Inferno. Looks like we're ready to get this show on the road as well, and we are. So, Big starting on the CT side, paiN on the T side.
What is going on? We got 3 sets of Julies out for Big, and every player has got armor as well. So these are serious Julie users. Has been a sacrifice by JDC and by Hype to make this happen. Hype in particular, he's got nothing but a USP. No armor, no util. I think he might have dropped some util across, to be fair, but all the same, these Julies are going to have to pop off. A lot of stock put into them. QB, first meeting, spots a shoulder, and he goes crazy. He goes crazy here, and he will just eventually take TGT down. Death by 1,000 cuts. That one a little cleaner as he takes ahead. So a man advantage looks pretty damn good right now for the CT side. Bomb still looking at B. Meanwhile, NQZ has perhaps thread the needle here, but he will be thread upon. QB keeps the kills coming.
Yeah, they just sort of keep being offered up towards QB. And he's taking the over the week. David gonna get caught there as well by Hyped. Who needs armor? I think Hype says he'll find his, and Biguzera. 1v5. What have you got for us? You're a known quantity. I know you're somewhere around here, and Hype gets his second as well. So an unorthodox pistol, but one taken all the same. Big. My God, they needed that.
Just so great to see, man. QB having a big round. But yes, it's a keen way to kick it off. You've got the cleanliness of it. You've also got a couple of those individuals that maybe were really struggling on the previous map, you might say. So just complete fresh slate. And now the proof is kind of in the map, right? It's still early doors, but sometimes you can kind of come in, you got that headspace like, yeah, guys, you know, fresh map. This is it. Just focus on what's going on and find the pistol, go from there. And then you just get demolished and you're like, oh, well, I guess we just can't win. You know, those thoughts creep back in. It's only natural. It's only human.
I think, yeah, you're absolutely spot on, right? So the fact that you're able to sort of instantaneously with quite a good round as well, find form and get the vibes back up as well. I mean, of course, maybe cut a little short while the tech pause. Seems to be a pause over towards Big side as well, but I guess, who cares, right? You've won the round, so you can take this added bit of time just to take a breather, chill out. For paiN, I think they just had a little bit of a tendency to really want to fight there, and unfortunately just the fight just never fell in their favor, kept being caught on the side. I mean, credit especially to QB, but both of the hyped kills were found from the side where they're trying to creep through that smoke. But big. Find a first, a second, more or less a guarantee here. No bites come through for paiN. They'd love a bomb plant. That would actually be pretty commendable if they're able to get it. It's very, very unlikely. David's dead. Yeah. He didn't even need the second nade. That one lands directly on his head. No armor. No chance. Bye-bye for him. And B9 can get some cash. The first. The bomb's built forward. A second and a third. Julie's pulled out, but not required as Hype will support. And another three-piece for QB. He started off nice and hot.
Going crazy. Looking good. Gonna have to make it matter when the rifles come out. That is for damn sure. We got some loud shouts coming across. I'm not sure that's from our game, to be fair.
No, that's I'm pretty sure that's Furia. I think they've just beaten Astralis. Let me double check. I feel like they have. HTV a little bit delayed, but I'm pretty sure that is Furia just taking out Astralis. Looks like 13-9. So 2-0 yeah, for Furia. They've gone on to stage 2. Big up.
We'll see if there's going to be another contingent of Brazilians joining them. A little more work to be done, even if they do win this one, of course, but keeping the dream alive. We've already got MIBR knocked out pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Cologne ends kind of as fast as it possibly could have done with the scheduling as well as the 0-2.
Down on top of the molly. David waits for a brief moment, and that'll actually be a real smart call. A lot of util was flying around that corner. Under a minute now, and paiN sort of showing big a little bit of their tempo changes too, you know, especially when you're off the back of a really good map. You do want to sort of get it going more or less straight away, but I do like this, right? paiN slows things down. They're getting an idea of what map control's looking like, and they're trying to figure out what the setup is for Big here. Smoke towards long as they're going to try and play in front of, and a swing and a find. David drops a big zero DGC onto with one of their own. QB still here, still present, and still yet to die as he's 7-0, but he can't deny that bomb being planted.
Can he deny the round alongside his teammates, I suppose, is the big question here. He's got good position. At the very least, denying it away from the enemy. It's just these MP9s, isn't it? They have to really close the gap. Some disadvantageous fights. They're sort of caging them in, hoping that there's maybe a kill that comes their way. It's going to be a late move. Not looking good if you ask me, but they should be able to take some guns away. There's hardly any time left on that bomb. NQZ was the last man. Oh, he does get on it. I think there might just be enough time here. Can he stop the defuse? Yes, DGT will save the round. That was awfully close. And they all go down. So as far as bonuses go, that's maybe the next thing besides winning that you would want is to eliminate the entire enemy team. All the same, paiN are on the board.
Yeah, I was a little dicey there. I think it's safe to say there was a split second where bated breath, so they're thinking, has he actually got this? But no, not to be. I like the effort though by Tabson. Yeah, so getting fired up. What you want to see as well. But as you mentioned, everyone dying, so real knock-on effect towards paiN. You can see it. Internalize in terms of their buy. Double Mac 10, double Galil required for this one. So something a little funky going to be required if they want to take this one. Look at those nades. We know Big have always had great util, but that is fantastic. The damage dealt towards Davideus and Big Azera. And it's NQZ, one of the healthier players, who's just spammed down through the smoke.
Yeah, really, really big start of the round here from Big. They sort of bait out heavy rotations, hoping to maybe draw more attention into B, I guess. But paiN are still, I think, seeing stars from the knockout punch that they have just been dealt. Slow creep up banana here. Smoke comes in, however. Tabson, surely got to be another one around for him somewhere, but it still buys enough time. And they're desperate. They're thinking of going through this a little bit. maybe, just maybe, as the utility comes over, they will move fast. tabseN gets a flash in to slow them down. The support is there. It's JDC flying to find the low HP player. tabseN gets his done on that spam. Bomb has been dropped. DGT joins the low HP players here with the smoke damage. So they do get the bomb down, but the round itself surely just not going to happen. I think Big, given the position they're in, a little bit precarious, they're happy to concede the plant. If they can keep this flawless from here on in, I think they would be happy. DGT swings around for the double spray down. Okay, that's clean, but there's just too many to get through, and Big will take 3.
Yeah, okay. Big, nice answer back as well. Sure, a bomb plant for paiN gives them a little bit of something to work with, but generally speaking, this is where Big can really start building upon this. Money's probably not in a good enough space as well for paiN where they can truly buy around this without, you know, where it can be kind of competitive in that sense. They might even be tempted to go for kind of a hero AK sort of buy and low around it and see what they can do. Nice effort by DGT, just damage towards tabseN too, right? So there was a moment you start to believe and start to have a feeling, but no. Pause taken. First one called by paiN, and as we mentioned, right, money not in a good enough spot for them. Best they can do is some sort of hero buy here, maybe a little bit of a half buy with greater pistols, but a full investment's not really a possibility for them. They're going to talk about what the plan is for this and also sort of next round too. Tough predicament though, for sure. Big, actually looking and feeling a lot more revitalized, a lot better and more comparative to what we saw in map number 1 of Ancient a long old time ago.
Yeah, this is a scary look for paiN. We're seeing the yin and yang of both of these teams, really. Okay.
Hey.
Big Uzera. Might have one of the worst view models in the game, but he can still hit his shots, man. That is hella clean. I don't know why I went for his view model there, but
Yeah, man. Chat about my boy again, so happens. It's a great shot. I'm looking for more as well. Crimbo tucked this corner. They just don't have the util to clear him, so they've just got to take raw angels. This is probably the perfect time to show off a little bit of that bait and switch that works so well for paiN. Well, a bait and switch being set up as well as JDT's the one taking contact. tabseN shooting at ghosts there. That'll give away a spot, and he'll have to re-smoke. Damaged out both ways. Pressure being kept on, but he's sticking around.
always scary when you hear a deagle ring off. You know, that first header's rolled. The next one could be so impactful. No real armor, just DGT. But if they get a gun into the right hands, if they are able to capitalize on the chaos, we've seen many around unravel against a buy just like this. tabseN will even up the numbers. The hold at middle is strong, as you would expect. So, looks good. Should be able to clean up from here if they can do so without losing anybody else. I think they put themselves in a pretty clean spot for the rest of this early half, and indeed that will be the case. So, money being built up, options for the AWP now. 1 or 2 more rifles, and Big looking really solid.
Yeah, agreed. This is getting to that point as well where we do have to start asking those questions for paiN. How do we break this down? How do we then start to kind of flip this back on its head? It's a nice shot, sure. We're not expecting really anything in that round, if we're being frank. But a really decent recovery, just to make sure it's not expensive, I think is the main thing for Big. Back in towards the buy. AKs across the board, bar that one Galil for Davideus. Alright, so was that a missed smoke there? Yes, I think there is one towards mid, right? Yeah, that's landed on the building. That is very much a missed smoke. Shut up. Prod team for pointing that one out. That one's not meant to go there. I can tell you that for free. Ain't gonna
happen
though.
Once in a while. Oh, I don't know, man. The A-bomb take. This is a little precarious again. You can kind of feel the tension, unfortunately. Trying to just net this first kill, a little bit of a boost up. Nobody on the other end of it. We've got that classic tit for tat here on Inferno, but Big just not giving them anything in this round. Super turtled up A hold.
I kind of like it. They're playing so standoffish.
Oh my
but
goodness.
It works well. Okay. Nade could be good, though. Never mind.
Nope.
Util's just shocking this round, apparently. Everybody. Looks like one of your lobbies, mate.
Okay. Not needed, but it might be true. Tabson will go down on the spin around. He's done a lot of damage here. And it will be hyped to the back of the site to kind of just hold for the entire round, honestly.
Ooh.
Nice pickup. Does get dinked for his trouble. Bit of a gun difference there. The nade surely indeed sees him off. They've dealt with the CT player quite quickly, so they'll keep the numbers. But it's the site that's lost. It's this fight that's important, and DGT flicks across to find the head instantly. And now they know the last two are in from CT. What are they going to do with it? Boost coming in. Yeah, top of the head spotted. NQZ takes him a second, but he's able to set his crosshair. They know that QB's round there, and down he goes through the smoke. paiN with a big find there.
That's a huge round to win as well. What a way to flip it. I felt like, especially that banana play, if it maybe just been a little slower, they probably would have been okay. Build time for that CT pinch maneuver to come through, but fortunately not to be. And QB then thrusts into that 1v2. He's cut short. Still been a fantastic start for him as well. He's 10-3 now, but QB's looking still quite excellent, which is really, really positive signs. He'll be the one wielding the MP9 in this round, but he's been flying. Tabson, what a healthy nade dropped on top of him, but he'll drop one of his own. If you can do it, I can do it better. And Davideus, trade HP damage. He also then ticks in the molly. Both now left very vulnerable. And paiN gonna maybe even slightly reluctantly just give up this banana control.
I'll try for a fast A. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's a lot.
Look at paiN, right? Snow, Davideus, both 0 kills. Gotta get online, guys. And now might not be the time. Uh-oh. Biggest errors called through. One is snuck past. JDC, he doesn't know he's in a precarious spot. And there is Snow's first, finally.
Just as you spoke it into reality, I suppose. And it could be certainly one of the more impactful kills here for paiN if they're able to do something with it. He's also in a really pesky spot. Goes in for a bit more and we'll get it. QB forced forwards. He's lost his teammate behind him, so the A hold has folded. It is a slim advantage for paiN. Very, very slim indeed. Hyped is hunting with the AWP, trying to get the contact. QB, meanwhile, they vaguely know about his position. When's he going to strike, I suppose, is the question. And there's a weird feeling in the air that it's like I'm in too deep, but maybe we should look to save. Nade is nice. Doesn't do anything to NQZ, though. I thought it would surely take a little chunk out of him. Not going to be the case. Hyped will now save. And paiN stringing a couple together. Listen, there's some lucky moments in here for sure, but they are capitalizing.
Yeah, all that matters. This round's been put on the board. Hyped. I say he will save here. This might be a little harder for. There's a bit of a play to exit at the end, and they're looking around, but I think he will just about be okay. Yeah, and Snow getting fired up. That's what we love to see. That's where things actually do become a little dangerous as well. When Snow really starts to get going, and finally with him being on the board as well, gonna alleviate a lot of the pressure that he was sort of individually feeling. Nice post plant though, just shutting down that pressure. Good, they're hyped. That's what you want to see. And speaking of hyped, he's the only one with a gun. Everybody else ecoing around, and they got one smoke to work with, and that is as good as it gets for the investment. Oh, German AWPer has got to put on some heroics here in this round, and it starts poorly.
Yeah, not what you'd want. But the AWP is scooped up at the very least, so, you know, maybe it's QB to have the heroic moment.
True.
They're actually all coming down into the pit, completely on the wrong side of the bomb site. He smoked off, so it'll be another save situation here. An anticlimactic round, but an important one nonetheless. paiN able to see it off easily. They even things up big. For just a moment, we're making us believe they looked incredibly good. QB in particular with his, like, you know, 9 kills in 3 rounds or whatever. But unfortunately, it has fallen off somewhat. Maybe a timeout required now.
I think you're right. I wouldn't hate that. Call a pause, had a breather, and probably, you know, set yourself up as best you can heading in towards this next gun round. Because it is one of those gun rounds where, and we've had this a few times, you build up saying, if you lose this, if you're big, you're in trouble. The chicken scared off by the sheer aura of NQZ, who's starting to warm up in towards this game a little bit. paiN, now tied up 4 rounds apiece. This next one's going to be very important for Big. If we want a chance of rectifying the situation we're in, but also building up a nice first half, giving yourself a bit of kind of fortune, it feels like it's now. And like the prophet you are, Scriv, you're right. Timeout called.
Yes. Been around for a while now, so I get the feeling, but it is also around where it really, really, really makes sense. You know, you've been missing the mark the past couple of gun rounds. Things have evened up, and we have seen what paiN can be capable of and how quickly the game fell apart for Big on Nuke. And just a mental few rounds towards the end there, so I think they really need to make sure that they do not allow that to creep back in. Nip it in the bud. Maybe one of the things that was a little poor from them as well is I don't think they took a timeout on Nuke until like 8-1, and it's like, listen guys, it's kind of gone by that point, you know, like the damage is done unless you can really turn it around, but you maybe needed one a bit sooner.
Yeah, I think you're right. Early util towards Banana. Probably smart adaptation there from Big. They're playing very standoffish towards B. They're giving them Banana control. Also sort of expecting that U-turn towards the corner, so neither JDC nor tabseN are present for it. This is an interesting setup. Hype, we've got to hit the shot. He panics, and that'll cost his teammate his life as QB gets overwhelmed. Flick shot, can't connect either. Hype's in a bit of trouble here. 2v4 on the initial push towards A, and they're going to drag over that rotation. JDC come to support, but they look like they're going to double dip back towards B.
Does look that way, yeah, as is always the case here on Inferno. So we'll see tabseN. Aggressive stance by himself. Risky, to say the least. And he can't even get one. That has to be the round over. Post timeout as well. Just not worked out for Big. Nothing they can do as the utility comes in. And, well, getting worrisome. paiN starting to run rings around them.
Yeah, you're right. This is difficult. Big got a call for a save, but also I like that there's some level of a hunt brewing here. If you're DGT, you may as well have a look. You've got so much money to work with now on this T side. Why not go send a couple of bodies over there and see how bad you can make things? Even just 1 kill goes such a long way. If 3 stay alive, you can buy back around that, no real issues. 2, however, that's a different story. That's the debate of whether we go in for that forced investment. And actually, Hyped was holding on this angle. He'd fell away, so DGT can now reclaim all of this app space. This gets a little dicey. He's having a look. DGT, but he doesn't commit. Knows there's somewhere around there, but he values his own life more. But another big round for paiN, and a lead taken by them as well. So interesting times. Big are in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, it's this kill here. A little too easy. Leave tabseN to anchor, but he's pretty aggressive anchor. But I suppose maybe they felt desperate that they had to do something to get back in the round. It's hard to say. I think if he even goes 1 for 1 there, it's just not enough. So
yeah.
There's a few problems creeping in. A few gambles not quite going to plan, but this one works quite nicely. That is maybe the world's tallest smoke. Doesn't do anything to save them in Banana, unfortunately. A nice find from DGT over on A. A fast and chaotic round here from both sides. Quick rotation back towards A. Is that going to work for them? The answer is no. tabseN bides his time, pulls off the perfect flank to just soften those numbers. The plant will go down, and they have to win this.
NQZ posted. Looks like he'll get a test in a second. It's all about how proactive he wants to be. I do like the move of just pulling over towards short here. No, he tags both. No way. That's so unfortunate. Had the chance of getting a collat. Instead, walks away with a double leg shot in the collat. DGT finds the healthier player, gets a second behind it as well. DGT has given life to the smoke on the bomb. They're spamming through. They know he's not on it. And DGT walks away. A 1v3, a clutch from the rifler. My, oh my, paiN. Everything's going their way, and Big can't buy a round at the moment.
Bro, Crimbo's got off the bomb.
I know. Why at that?
You don't win. You don't win. You have to hold. It's your only option. And you might have gotten away with it. I mean, what is going on? Such a well-executed round up until the point where it matters most. It's just insane. It really is. I mean, look, Crimbo might not have survived there. That might be some sort of an inevitability, but, like, you have to kind of hold. Really, really wild. As Big, again, are starting to crumble, starting to fall apart at the seams. They had a timeout 2 rounds ago. They've got another one here. They've not won a round since the last timeout. Like, it is really just piling on now.
Yeah, pressure starting to get to that point of being quite insurmountable, if we're being frank. And things have really fallen quite flat. This is so difficult. That was a full ace by DGT as well, by the way. It was 3 in the clutch. He got the first 2 to open things up. He was towards QB and Hype to start it. Credit to him. Full ace by him. He's had some monstrous moments of his own regard throughout this series, but that's got to be his best. QB started so hot in towards this. Full blind. What a flash. Perfect from DGT, the man of the moment. And they can't capitalize on kills. A trade that comes through. It is carnage. It's a bloodbath here as paiN looks set for 7.
So close on a couple of these, man. Could have turned the tides of war for sure. David's just missed the man. But he doesn't move into apps. Okay, so they're kind of conceding the route. That is unfortunate because JDC actually had a really good spot there. I think could have caught a player off guard, but not the case, not to be. And maybe that is the case here for Big at Cologne, as it's just going from bad to worse. And there is some misfortune here for sure. You know, 1 or 2 more bullets in the right place and it could have been their round. But the lack of weaponry, the weird little half bite, I suppose, gets you what you pay for.
Well, Crimbo, gonna get 2. Bit of money. AK upgrade as well. I guess we can slightly talk about silver linings, but we're far from in a good spot for Big. It's gone very quiet over there, and understandably so. Yeah, brilliant spot that they're in, though. paiN, you got a lead guaranteed on the T side of Inferno. You got the opportunity in the final round here, make it an 8-4. That would be huge. And it does sort of feel like a lot of it is coming off the back of one man's antics. If you look at the scoreboard as well, bar DGT, no one's really flying away numbers-wise. I mean, Daviday is still 1-9, and he's been one of the better players for paiN this series. So quiet here so far, and still they're looking so dominant.
All right, let's see. Big need to give themselves a little boon moving into the second half. See, they are really quite tight on this map, I think. You know, really well drilled on that T side. Lots of great utility. Lots of really good double pumps and things like this. So I'm still quietly excited for their second half, but when paiN get going, man, they look just unbeatable.
Yeah.
So I do worry in that vein as well. We've got a little rotation of players and someone moving off of A to go B, the B player moving off B to go A, posting up the AWP over here. Again, a little lucky that there's nobody on the other end. Hype's getting aggressive though. Here's another aggressive stance considering he's the only one there. Mid crunch, only successful for one. Rotation coming round towards B. There's fights happening all over the place. B has to hold cleanly. Hyped misses another shot. It's Crimbo that comes in, and together they will combine to hold the site. NQZ alone against the world. Struggling, as is the AWP though. Oh my god, this is a little hard to watch. Hyped will get it done in the end, and that will be that 5th round that Big needed.
Yeah, it's better than nothing, right? They're giving themselves still a chance. It's still within reach and distance, but my God, the big need a strong starting towards the second half. paiN, that tail end, really, really decent from them. That clutch in particular, fantastic. And it all started so well for Big, but it didn't end that way. So let's see if they can recover. They've still got a bit of a lead to chip away at, but for now, a break. Well, a closer affair than map number 2, that is for sure, but at the moment, fortune seems to be favouring that of paiN. 7-5 at the half. A monstrous clutch from DGT as well. Could have been the catalyst to a successful first half. The question being now, can we make the second continue? The Brazilian side have only got a brief little lead. Looks like a tech issue. I think Crimbo might have crashed there for a brief second. It looked like he immediately stopped. But either way, it gives us more time, Scriv, to talk about where we're at, right? You know, this is big on the back foot, but what we've touched on a lot is that Big actually look quite good on the pistols too. So the hope is that they can really, really keep things going.
Yeah, I think so. And this is a game that, again, just feels very difficult to predict and work with. paiN having moments, Big having moments. Whereas the other two maps have been pretty streaky for the most part, right? Just sort of one team running the game until its bitter end. So Inferno here always seems to shift the momentum a hell of a lot faster. Spirit's still high over on the Big side of things, still enjoying themselves, which is good. And what we love to see.
Positive signs. You know, the worst kind of thing we can see in a spot like this is them actually being, you know, tilted, basically, right? You know, that is more than anything really quite worrying. But yeah, seems to be okay. So let's see. Still waiting on. Let's pause. Hopefully only a brief one, and then we can get the show back on the road. But You look at the run that we saw as well out from paiN, where they're able to kind of chain together 6 rounds in a row. That's a really good kind of indication that things are going quite well for them. Needs to be over towards QB. Back your headset on, mate. Let's see if you're good to go. The game's played as well. While we're on, we got we got VP Heroic to follow this as well.
Yep.
Be a pretty good one over the A stream. They're gonna have FlyQuest Liquid, also a pretty interesting one as well, right? New look FlyQuest, but also kind of still new look Liquid in a way. Tough one to call that. I kind of maybe favor Liquid a little bit in that one. I feel like for FlyQuest, it might be a little bit of time to get things going until they're like a real kind of stage 2-esque team in a way. We'll say in Fury, of course, that big win over Astralis is super important for them. Super sick to see. Molodoi apparently looked unbelievable. That's what the streets be saying.
And they never lie. The streets never lie.
Well, true. I've heard that. They do be saying it.
From the streets, to be fair. So it's
of course.
How much can you trust it? But
it's self-praise, but you know. Works all the same. We are live though. Looks like tech issue concluded, so we can get this show on the road. And let's go look at that. Triple dualies again.
Yeah, taking a leaf from the big book. It obviously did work on their CT pistol, although it was all down to one man. It felt like QB's 3K, if you can cast your mind back that far. All the same, they can be very unforgiving, the dualies. Sometimes you'll get a QB round, other times, and most of the time, it actually feels like you just take a lot of damage, but not quite finding that headshot that you're so desperate for. Either way, Big have started slow. Got lots of utility, actually, even for an Inferno pistol round here, so pretty big game plan. Crimbo's got the Molotov. He didn't buy that. He's been given it. So a lot of very interesting little moves here. It's all been worked out for Big, and we'll see if it pays off for them. They'll start charging in here. Crimbo with the molly lineup. Actually going to get it in late, so they are very, very fast in towards this A-bomb site. NQZ in on the site, though. He stands strong. The Julie's down here, just no clue what's going on. JDC's picked up 2 in all the carnage through the smoke. Biguzera falls. And Snow, the babyface killer, as you like to call him, certainly going to have to see some of those teeth. And I don't know, man. It's all just posturing at this point. He is really up the creek right now by himself.
Without a paddle.
Info. It's all late. Yeah, absolutely. Really doesn't look good from here.
I think you just save. Half armor and dualies. I mean, exits also, you know, I don't really mind. So he's going to go for that. Dualies at range, though, not always the best. Sometimes some pros make them look like mini snipers and they can find these long range shots, but that looks a little bit more like mine, where they don't really work like that. So, a response from that a Big as well. I thought when NQZ gets double here, we've got a chance, but it's actually just Davideus who's stuck in towards mini pit, full blind, and he continues to have a real, you know, middling performance. 111 for him. He's got to step up soon.
All right, let's see. Tabson getting aggressive. Nothing on the other end of it. Nade doesn't meet him, and his is also not much better. So the weird buy here. Feeling a little shaky for paiN. There you go, though. That's some good damage. That's some really good damage onto Tabson, actually. I think pretty much the max that a nade could dish out. Let's have a look and see if paiN have got anything else on the cards at the moment. Not really. They're not making any moves, not getting super aggressive. Just playing a conventional force buy, which we generally are not massive fans of. You know, we like to see something a bit creative in a round like this.
It's true. I think maybe for paiN, we look all the way back towards Ancient. I know, you know, cast your minds back, guys, kind of a while ago now, but when they had a buy like this, they did try something a little unconventional, and they got shut down because Big are normally a side that, you know, a lot of due diligence, they don't take any liberties and all the rest. So potentially that's what's leaning in for paiN. where they're just saying to themselves, well, when we tried unconventional, they decimated us. Maybe let's see if the conventional one, we can isolate some fights. Where are we finishing? I mean, obviously, it's looking towards A, but there's bodies here. I say that DGT is rotating away at the worst possible time. But a gift for Davideus is only a second kill here. We don't need to overface Davideus. Stick up with NQZ and you could be okay. Can't get the trade. It's damage dealt. But I think you just shell up for a save if you are paiN. You keep on of what you got. Big. They're going to tie this game.
Yeah, now we have a game on our hands for sure. paiN got to be very, very careful with how they play these next few rounds. Big could start directing things, and I think T-side Inferno, as Anubis moves out, we're maybe going to see this one swing more towards that T-side, it feels like, and yeah, the utility usage, as I've spoken about, from Big is kind of next level at times. If they're given the space, Hyped will get dropped. It's a little unfortunate there. So a Galil in the hands of Big Azera for this follow-up round, although I guess not. He will go down as he just doesn't like the concept of saving there.
Okay, getting hyped though. Skrunk looks very happy. Definitely what we want to be seeing. And you're really looking towards this next gun round as well for paiN. This one where you're just saving what you've brought over doesn't feel like it's got that much behind it. You'd like some consolation kills, but they're not going to kind of reinvest by any means around it. It should be Big taking the lead if all things go to plan. Now, they don't always. paiN have had some funky rounds converted in their favor. This one looking a little bit more like it. Big Azera setting up for the flash. They don't bound round. Flash comes over, but Big anti-flash. They were so ready. Tabson's second one as well. Same result. Gets the first on towards DGT. Great work from him. Played anti-flash twice. Swings in. Gets a kill. Gets out. Beautiful.
Yeah. Solid move. They're going to have a lot of those in the back pocket. JDC up high here. Trying to spot the tip of the head. He has actually missed one of them. Flash going to come in here. We'll see. Could actually have some efficacy if timed well enough. Losing the first man. Need this contact flash now. It's ineffective, but Snow still manages to find one and hold on to the position. They have left A completely. There's a couple players up there to capitalize, maybe hear the players running away even. So unfortunately for paiN, they have bought the bait. And it was all a ruse. Should be a bomb plan and an 8th round for Big.
Yeah. And a similar thing, you know, maybe if you're Snow and, well, especially Davideus as well, I'd say go and have a look in. As much as they probably won't, you're buying into this next round anyway. The Galil, I guess you can sort of fathom about why you'd kind of keep that. Or maybe they might intend Big Azera going to have a look. If you get some upgrade of any sort, that'd be nice. Any gun drop goes a long way. But you're buying in towards the next round, right? So why not just see what you can find? There's no Mac 10s in play either, not that you've heard of. So you can make that safe assumption, especially in this sort of a spot. Big Azera's going to do exactly that. He's going to have a look, see if anything offers up, see if he can get anyone on the way out. Unfortunately, they're exiting the opposite way to him. So he has a look. Tap on towards the bomb just to try and drag anybody back, but he had to probably tap it 2 or 3 seconds earlier. Good work, though. Big. Building into this, like we said. Pistols are being strong. The force by conversions behind them also very, very solid. On the back foot from paiN, and they're on that disadvantage now with this gun round. This will be the big indication of just how good or bad things are looking. They've got to find this and level the playing field immediately.
A lot of pressure then. Tournament life on the line now. As these rounds get more and more serious, paiN have got to watch themselves. As you mentioned, super important round for them. Big will know that though, and it does feel like they are really directing the pace of this game. A lot of change-ups, and it's so smooth at the moment. Coordination looks good. Even just the nades there. I'm not able to find anything with it, but it feels like such a quick call that it's like, right, nade CT, and they're immediately on it. Not necessarily something that was worked out at the start of the round. Big Uzera just dry swinging in. Suppose baits them in towards B here. The flashes are good. DGT does well to find one, and they just have to be careful. A lot of bullets round that corner. Nade does a little bit of damage, but we need the kills here. We need to get back in. It is an open coffin area. They realize that. Molotov comes in and DGT. His feet burn. He will be heard. Another nade round here. Just trying to bait out the molly, and there it is. JDC tried to go in to dedicate. He actually finds the kill at coffin. Felt like a really good molly to force an awkward fight, but not the case. They'll keep on tapping. No rush here for Big, it would seem. And maybe this does bring the kills to them. Feels a little strange. paiN starting to think about the save, but the bomb's not gone down, and it just keeps them pushing forwards. David will fall. That has to be the round, and Big will fend off against the big buy.
Man, so unfortunate for David. He has fallen so flat. You can just see lazy clearances in that corner.
Yes.
Up shot of NQZ. Not going to have too much. Snow will get one of his own. So they're still lurking.
Oh, Snow. Really playing with fire here, as he does pull it a bit close, but he'll wait for them to stop shooting before he leaves. It's a thin silver lining, but it's still not really good enough here from paiN. B-bomb site falls quite quickly. You know, it's like Big Uzera on that dry walkout. David sending it round the corner. There's a bit of frustration, I think, for a couple of these players. David in particular, I mean, this is one of the things that I think is a great skill that's often overlooked. Is to just kind of realize within a game maybe how your role and your impact shifts. And rather than trying to like force the kills, it's like, okay, I just need to be the bait. I need to make sure that somebody is there to trade. I draw crosshairs. I've got good utility. But he is trying to force hero moments, and he's just not mechanically there. This map, it happens, you know, and you have to sometimes realize that.
Snow. Hot flash over the send Big Uzera around that corner. Yeah, it's a gift. JDC, bless him. Not a single thing he could see there. Needle bound round to deal a real healthy amount of damage, but he's okay. Heights. Yeah, that's an easy one. Big Uzera, a gap above that smoke that'll cost him his life. So brought back level, but with damage dealt towards Hype, still feels like ever so slight advantage in paiN's corner.
Tense from here. 45 seconds left on the clock. Big have moved into the apartments. Trying to burst out by the looks of it. One man with two smokes. David actually gets two there. Are you serious? Yeah. Wow. NQZ down in the pit then, ready for this fight. Short player falls far too easily, and the bomb plant denied. Oh man, David, there you are. I mean, quite a game from him, but some pretty big impact in that round, and doesn't come a moment too late.
He doubles his kill in one round. Better late than never for him to step up, right? And the fact that this game's being close without him, if he is able to step up now and really start looking quite consistent, then you'd argue that trouble starts to rise a little bit for Big. Let's see. Still feels early doors to be saying stuff like that, but a one-round game. An economy on the brink for Big as well, with not exactly the best of buys. A max 10 required for QB. So the big thing here is if paiN can take this round, they break the back of Big, wallet completely empty, at a tight game, which means that the lead's sort of a gift. If paiN become the first side to crack in towards double digits, statistically, signs start to look very, very good for the Brazilians, but this map feels like it's going down to the wire. It could even require a few extra rounds on top of that.
Yeah, I feel like it would be deserved of it, to be fair, as this is that knockout game. And I think two very big names here. You know, we have the hometown heroes and we have paiN, who just made it so very deep at the major. So the next big tournament in the calendar, you'd maybe expect them to be vying for a top spot there. So to go out so quickly would be quite a surprise.
Yeah, yeah. JDC looking back over towards B. He's got the bomb and the whole team in support behind him. What's the shutdown like? What have we got? Snow and Big Azera. This is going to be a true test. A smoke down. They've also still got that Molotov. Keep an eye on Big Azera. He can still slow them down and force them in towards Snow and the flash, which can probably bounce in towards water. This gets dicey though. Snow playing anti. Gets one. Transfer for the second is sublime. Snow solid on that shutdown towards B as he looks for more. Shut down there, but DGT's spam is exquisite, leaving hyped with it all to do. 1v4, no chance with 3 seconds. He's saving. paiN, find 9 and tie this game right back up.
Well, here we go. Game on our hands, it would seem. Energy back up a little bit for the paiN boys. And Big now start quaking in their boots. Also a wild move from them. Pushing through the smoke. Maybe their only option. Little bit of annoyance. But not much can be done. I suppose they created the parameters for themselves. We do have their third and final timeout coming in here. Some might argue a bit early, you know. You got big rounds on the way and now you've got no timeouts left. It's not going to happen in this round either, right? This will be a low buy at best. So paiN will take the lead. And they will be in control going into the final rounds of regulation.
Yeah, it does become a difficult spot for Big. I mean, they've basically got a couple of real true full buys to deny paiN running away with this. And maybe another force on top of that. So not got many chances ultimately. What we're trying to say here. One AWP and one upgraded pistol is all we bring to the table here. We knew money was going to be on thin ice for the German side, but this is pretty dire. Only down by Davideus just to slow them down in this app scroll. He did well last time, getting a couple. This time against unarmored pistols too. He should have no problem. It's only Hype's AWP that he really needs to be worried about.
Apartments control again from Big. They do seem to be fans of this. paiN also not showing a lot of presence here, so it kind of works most of the time. Can they do something with it? Obviously just looking to get hyped in the best possible spot. But it seems with no flash left, they are looking for the halls pop.
There's 4 here.
There is one hanging around. This is strange for sure. Oh, and the smoke is perfectly timed. Or is it? You know, they maybe see an opportunity in said smoke.
They in towards shore, but it's no for the first. There's 4 here, and they're all coming on the back of NQZ. He's pushed down Banana. He knows there's nobody here. He knows they're going towards A. 30 seconds. There's no chance of Big here. No chance in hell. JDC finds a nice little kill. I'll give him that. Any more would be unlikely, to say the least. And Big Azera can play no contact if he wants. A scooped up M4, but the AWP and the M4 both drop, and it looks like it's the same story for QB joining his fallen comrades 6 feet under. paiN. Good spot once again for them. Inching closer and closer to that finish line. Chances really starting to dwindle now. First had to crack in towards double digits as well. Credit to paiN. This resurgence coming from them. The half started quite slow, and I was actually getting a little concerned that they might have squandered their chance of the series here, but they are right back. And you look at what we're going for. From an eco into essentially another eco, double ecoing like that, you actually never want to see that. That's sign of bad financial management and a tough position to be in. Crimbo going to find one in the quick trade, but Scrib, they're in trouble.
Yeah, they are. It's picking up fast. DGT is here behind to try and cover. NQZ awkward on the Tech 9. He's going to run out of ammo eventually. Crimbo above the smoke takes him down. Big find. It's only 1 between the 2 of them there. So maybe not quite going to be good enough. Big Azera and Snow creeping round from short. I think 1 spotted. Hopefully not both, but that might just be the case. Molotov comes in, 2 in at mini pit. Not going to be expected, to say the least. First finds his kill as well, and the second, just for good measure. And the unlikely round goes the way of Big.
What a round to take. That's the sort of round as well that could really be kind of the difference maker in a sense. I mean, you're looking at it now with them falling so far behind. We were talking about them being in this double eco situation and how worrisome that was. And they make it work with next to nothing. Huge round to take. Still looks like a real size of relief for Big, but that's a massive one. That's the sort of round that can absolutely turn the tides.
Nothing in Banana. Just the trading of nades at the moment. Even the deep nades don't really find any damage. 9 points taken out of Big. I think they can live with that. NQZ watching for a boost for that unorthodox play to come into his crosshair. But at the moment, nothing is presenting. He'll be sat back. Oh, he's still waiting, though. He's looking at the wrong side, so it's all going to be quick. Flash comes in, and he's fast enough. That's exactly what he wanted. The patience pays off for the AWP.
Mutual to get a bit of control back in favor, but they might actually just leave one posted. So Hype's going to go join the team back towards A. One of the few times that paiN aren't playing a player in towards Cubby. One of the few times they nade it. Because he knows he's asking for a flash. You can see it. And the flash comes in, but it's actually a little bit too early. So QB, ineffective on towards him. Numbers brought back level, 4 on 4. Smoke towards Libby, smoke towards Moto, and towards Baud. So they might have to just push through this or boost above.
DGT. Headshot angle, double swing comes in. It's effective. David in the pit. Gonna need multiple here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, might just be on for it. Yes, sir. The hold is clean. And maybe he's done enough. He does get traded out, but David, again, with a quiet game, but a big impact when it matters most. The AWP against 2 here. Can Hyped do it? Really important round here. It would be a break of the econ over on that CT side in particular, but both sides looking worse for wear. Lots of time gone on this bomb. Lots of noise being made. Hyped has everything that he needs. He just needs to get the shots. First one lands cleanly. It's going to be a hold on to the bomb. He's got the Tech 9 out. He's got the Tech 9 out. Can he find the head? Yes, he can. And Hyped will 1v3 for Big.
Oh, look what it means to them as well. Look what it means. Hyped. So well done. I thought David Day has done enough as well. The first true round from David Day is where he goes back to his kind of real clean ways. I know he had that spray down earlier, but that was such a nice isolation of fights. Oh man alive, Hyped. He has stepped up in such a big way. What a 1v3 to be taken there. And the spam with the Tech 9 just knows his lineups.
Yeah.
That is the reaction you want to see as well. Now as well, I love the pause immediately. I'm sure called by paiN, but also as well for Big. I'm sure they're happy to take it as well. You know, you've just had this electric moment and, you know, emotions through the roof. You want a little breather. Let's just set ourselves back down. Job's not done just yet, but my God, are we close?
Yeah, the emotions running high. Two pretty emotional teams as well, to be fair. So it's also keeping those kind of negative thoughts in check. It's tough. It's a clutch situation. You shouldn't lose, but you have to move on to the next and just believe in the process here, particularly for paiN. AWP still out for NQZ. They've managed to cobble together the buy. I thought it might look a bit worse than this, but they have got it going. Tabson on the contact. Oh, the flash nearly screws Big Uzera. He's lucky that he does not go down there. But they are going to keep pushing forwards. No ebb and flow, no back and forth here. Just simple B rush from Big. The burst looking good as Tabson's in behind. Snow in an awkward spot right now. They know that he's got to be around on this side of the site. DGT, though, through the smoke, manages to find one. Snow denies the bomb plant, at least for now. Has he done enough? Bought a lot of time for these rotations to come in. The bomb will still get planted eventually. And finally, they make their way over. There is no kit available in the hands of these players. There's one on the deck there if they can get 2 hits, and DGT keeps the kills coming. Hyped with the leg. It's another clutch required. Here he is, Crimbo. This is the praise that we sing for this guy. He finds the first. Tap onto that bomb. Losing ammunition here, losing his head to NQZ, and they will easily get the defuse in. The game continues.
Oh, the CS gods giveth and they taketh. Hyped with the leg shot there as well. That is so unbelievably unfortunate. If he gets that kill, there's no one close enough to trade. It's a really nice, simple play, though, isn't it? It's such a simple call. tabseN sort of sending himself in as that first prong as well. I mean, he's 5-2 in opening duels, tabseN, as well. So while he's maybe not running away in the numbers department, the impact he's having with those kills are insurmountable. But 11-all, we're going the full 24 and potentially and some. I said it quite a while ago now that this map felt like it might have extra innings in it. Right now, even more so. That's so close. That Molotov going to force him either forward or back. He chooses the safer option of the two, and he deals some damage on the way out with an nade. Snow probably to sit all the way back on site now.
Biggest error on top of the sandbags here. It is a confident angle for the end of the game. I'll tell you that much for free. Lovely little smoke comes in. He's going to try and use that to his advantage, but they're always watching the edges of these smokes. That's something I've spotted about Big. They do quite well against all these types of pushes. That was close. That was close. Biggest error not able to find anything, though.
$50. Not committed yet. Does feel like they're posturing towards that B finish. 2 here. Biggest error and NQZ. There's another smoke. There's a molly and 2 flashes. So actually no smoke to replenish that one. So once it goes, Big have the runway in towards the side. I mean, the big thing for kind of paiN that might be quite costly is they actually just don't have retake util to work with. It's going to be dicey. 20 seconds. They're starting to make their way in. NQZ's got to hit a couple of corkers.
Eventually, once they start moving in, will the flashers get him? Oh, they actually are a little awkward here. NQZ, though, still alive at the back end. Pillar. That is big. DGT's got 2 through the smoke, meanwhile. What is going on? There's no time for the plant. What is happening? That is absolutely insane. I mean, I suppose that late Molotov makes all the difference, but DGT with the double through the smoke. Crazy.
Yeah, that is so fun. This second shot from NQZ, by the way, caught by the blind a little bit, under pressure. What a flick on towards tabseN. Even he's,
I should think so, mate. I should think so.
Bloody hell, how have I got away with that? How's DGT got away with this? Just translate that into Brazilian, and that's exactly the thought process going through there for paiN. Oh my. 1 round away. They go for their 3rd and final. Rix gets on towards the mic as he wants some insight. But let's turn attention away from paiN for a brief moment. Let's look towards the side on home soil. Look at the money. Look at the buy for Big. 24th and final round of this map and potentially this series too. They're looking towards overtime. They're looking to survive here in Cologne. And they've got to do it with AWP and 4 Tech 9s. Let's see what the CS gods have got for us. Is there more required in this map? Or if paiN broke the back of Big and are they going to send them on a very short journey home?
We are in the right place for it, of course, if there is to be some divine intervention. And the prescience here of this round has to be in favor of Big. They need some sort of help. I mean, the gods of Counter-Strike might not even be enough, to be honest.
Yeah, divine intervention is needed here. And
yes.
some.
An absolute hero. Maybe his name is Hyped. He's got the orb. And this is a kind of rinse and repeat round. He clutched up. So maybe not wanting to rely on him in the 1v3 again. Pull the trigger, man. But he moves around the corner, plays it safe instead.
Okay. Pop shot. Missed. They're moving forward here. This looks like a full commit towards A. I spoke on towards Bao. That'll stop that as a split maneuver. Just a couple of pixels for Davideus to work with. Still been a little slower, but he's picked it up. I mean, he was what? 0-11 at one point, 1-11. It was not looking good. NQZ up close. Molly, library, smoke behind it. What have you got for us? We probably need two. And he only walks away with one, but Davideus gets out, tugs his head towards pit, and DGT still an unknown quantity.
Oh, the trades are in. Hype does go down. That's going to be the bomb. Only 13 seconds here. They just have to draw Crimbo in. He has to take a fight. He'll win it. Just to get the bomb and get the plan. He will just about. But that allows the gap to close. He's so insanely low. It's a headshot angle required here to keep them in it. He can't find it. Snow will take him down, and heartbreak for Big. They put their best foot forwards. It was tension the whole way through that A take. NQZ dropping back, letting them get long control. It's like, oh, I don't know, this is so much space. But it works, just works. 1 or 2 bullets the difference. And paiN will survive. Big out.